Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, there's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Cincinnati Bengals. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Ready. 50, plant. Here we go. He's coming. Protein spill. Ready.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Go, Jackrabbit, come on. Hey, high 7.
2nd and 11. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. They got his man complete. 36 yards on the play.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Yeah.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Mike, 3.
They're going to look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Recon, 132 fighter. Get it.
He'll drop to throw. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And an alley to run. Pass, taking it right down Broadway. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Hey, Orban.
198. Watch 98. 98.
Now.
They'll drop the throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Check. Lucky. Slam. Shift. Watch the shift. Check the backer.
Hey, lock it.
Big gap.
Let's go.
Now back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 34-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
6-6. Pull it high.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Kill.
Hit it.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Rush in.
X3. 218. Chopper. Ready.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. Well, they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Double time. 4 down. Alone.
They'll try the left side. Paul. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. 2nd and 2. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
First down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Cruz to throw. Off play action. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Tight end right. Everyone got 4 down.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Here we go. Set. 7 again. Here I come again. 24 is the mark. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The Colts send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Slam, slam, slam. Jim.
Get it.
Back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Here's Tressway now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. These two teams all tied after 1. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. That's taken on the 25. And he'll be out of bounds downs, but able to get it up past the 45. They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there for the Bengals. Give him 52 yards on the ground.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Bang, 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 bang. No, no, no. Off. Hard, hard.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
A 51-yard attempt.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. 2nd and 4. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
On 1st down, Cruz. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. In for the score. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, well, no, I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, you know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
A gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 2.
On the set.
Mike 3. I got you. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating the guys who just gave up that play.
Ready, ready. 18 Gators. Get it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. Second down coming up.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Oh, this is becoming tough to watch. I don't know that I've seen 3 pick sixes from the same quarterback in the same game.
And I know that many are going to scream at the coach about why did you let him stay out there to throw those. But truthfully, what are the odds that you're going to throw 3 pick sixes in a game? You want to leave them out there so they can work through some of the rough stuff.
The Bengals take over first and 10
Let's go.
at their own 25-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 23 yards, the final tally. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Ready? 7. Not today, you are. Not today.
Back to throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
First and 10 at their own 2-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
Hatch it. Hatch it.
And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5.
Let's go, defense.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Alpha. Mike, check, 59. Go! Screen! Watch the screen! Nice 7, let's go! Mike's 59! Mike's 59! Ready, go!
Operating from the gun. Cruz. And he comes back with one complete. It's a foot race. The 30. The 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
There we go.
A big play there. 94 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. So from back deep in their own territory all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Ready?
They'll set up to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 32. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now a play fake here on 1st down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Taylor, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Bengals' 8-yard line.
Set, ready. San Lobo.
So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check 37.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Hey, Haywood. Get it.
He'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 42. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They'll run on first down. It's Paul, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now.
42-yard line.
Tucson.
Cruz looking to throw on second down. Open man is Hill. He's got it. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Here we go. 8, read. Hey, pick your game up. Switch. Switch. .61. Matchbox. Ready, go.
Cruz now throwing on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
Quick hitch, complete. It's Perry. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Here we go. Set. 10-2 stop.
All right, T. Let's turn. All right, T.
Going to give this time to the tailback. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Mike 3. Mike 3.
They'll look to throw here. It's Kelsey on the ground. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Looking to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
10 yards to go.
Here we go. Here we go. 8, read.
Team showed up.
Stay grip.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Let's go.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Mike 3. Mike 3. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Smooth.
Mike 3. Mike 3. Combo. Squeeze, double.
0 to go.
They'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college. So sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Back to throw. Cruz. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Here's Cruz. Going to throw again. Dancing to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Tackled that time by Sidney Jones.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was cut also by the defense.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Pilot, 64, weak. Snap.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Let's go, defense is getting it.
Now Cruz. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. They complete it to Hill. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On first down, it's called. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Let's get it.
44-yard line.
Now Cruz to throw. Off the play fake. He's going to fire this thing deep. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more.
52. Bengals 10.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? You don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They'll drop the throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah, Ty Detmer.
He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 37.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. The throw over the middle taken in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Bengals gain a bit of respectability.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 42.
And they just had another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. On second down now, it's Taylor. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
He'll drop to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
It's going to be a long day.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line. Tonight's final score.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Colts, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll drop down to 1-3. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.